Good morning, everyone.
Good
Hope we
morning.
are to start our day with Narada Bhakti Sutra. When we talk about Narada Bhakti Sutra and Maharishi Narad, his approach is very practical. He's not talking about, first of all, the divine sitting somewhere in heaven or somewhere on top, or neither he's talking about the divine relationship only in terms of singing in his glory or thinking about him. The whole sutra talks about all the challenges, all the differences which comes through the world within and outside interaction. It also talks about all the practical question which comes to our mind. Practically, he gives you everything to understand your mind, self, and your relationship with the divine through the self. And answering all these common challenges, he's also talking about how to manage it on the path of jnana, bhakti, karma, and finally leading it to the bhakti, the devotion, the cultivation of devotion, which means the emotion which you grow within yourself for the divine. That's something impossible until we take care of ourselves and take care of our emotion. Again, in all of this, we commonly have a myth and misconception and also misunderstandings of having these emotions. So here in next sutra 43 to 44 and 45, he talks about emotion, which we consider negative, which we consider the bad ones. But they are emotions until they are within us, they still come. The positive or the strong or the emotion of love will not come so easy. Therefore, he's addressing now how to remove these emotions. After this meditation, I would like to have 5 minutes to answer another questions also, which may come answering these what Naradji has given out. All the answers are in every text wherever these great sages and the saints has answered. So let's understand how these negative emotions are emerging and how do we remove that so that the love for the divine or the love a devotion actually cultivates from the mind. Let's start sitting comfortably, closing your eyes. Take a moment to withdraw your awareness from the surrounding, to simply bring it on your physical body. With the closed eyes, observing your posture, making sure the spine is straight, shoulders relaxed and collapsed, the both arms resting. Take a moment to observe neck muscles and around. Make sure there is no tightness or stiffness there. Your awareness to your lower back and lower limbs. Again, making sure that there is no discomfort. You can have support to make sure there's no pain or discomfort which radiates from the spine to legs. Once body is relaxed and in a comfortable posture, you will observe naturally a response of breath and mind which is calming down. Taking a moment to simply observe your breathing, your inhalation and exhalation at this point as it is. without any effort to change. Observing the thought, mind with the flow of breath. Synchronizing your mind with the flow of breath. So not having a fixed point, but observe and be aware of all the movements as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Merging your mind completely in this process. If any point you may observe that mind is distracted or diverted, you can simply bring it back on your awareness to breath. If it's often distracted in this process, simply bringing your awareness to flow of breathing, and when you exhale, fully exhale and hold for a moment, and then inhale. The very short and small pause at exhalation will centralize the mind effectively. When you come to a point where the stillness, the silence is emerging naturally and effortlessly, even for a very short time, but you reach to the point where mind, even for this small time, is completely silent. Merge into the stillness where the world does not exist for you anymore. Thoughts may come and go, but they are not attached to anything, to planning, execution, to memory, to feelings. Nothing that matters for that moment. Even the thoughts come as the flow of mind, just like flow of breath. It's there, but it does not bother or distract you. From the point of silence or any movement of stillness which you observe, I would like you to extend that. Having nothing else for the moment, you decide will not think or allow the mind to think and go towards anything else, but more explore the silence, the stillness. Even if you don't know what to do at this point of stillness, simply just be there. As mind effortlessly will move into deeper conscious levels. the glimpse of the stillness where world is still, and you are exploring the world within. With the thoughts, with your roles, with your interactions with the world outside, most common reaction, what we get is our emotions. The emotion we would like to feel more, like love, peace, happiness, calmness, joy, excitement. But there are emotions we do not wish to experience, we do not wish to express. Lust, anger, delusion, sadness, all these emotions which we identify as negative or the bad, they not only come and go, but they also create a series of changes within us. Anger leads to delusion. Delusion leads to loss of memory, leading to loss of discrimination between right and wrong, and ultimately spoils everything, hurts everyone, including yourself. I would like you to connect with one emotion which has been a struggle to manage. It could be the anger or the sadness. Without judging yourself or anyone, simply observing when this emotion emerges. Where does it lead? There is always a cycle. There is always a sequence. The whole chain reaction starts and finishes. And no matter how hard you may try, it still happens. Even if it's an anger which you do not express out loud, it still affects and complete its own cycle within. Reconnecting with the memory from the past or present, any recent incidents which you can see yourself and the flow of emotion. Not from the starting point, but also its consequences. All the pain and confusion that it leaves behind. Not only that affects the mind, but also the body. Let's take a moment to withdraw yourself, coming back to observing your mind. At this point, now, simply connecting with your breathing again. When you exhale, make sure you take a pause. Hold your breath and inhale normally. This short pause will help to clear the mind and come back to the point of stillness, a complete silence. In order to channelize the emotion or cultivate the love and devotion, we must also let go unpleasant emotions. This occurs without a reason, where we say the pleasant emotions does occur in the presence of goodness. Good people, good relationships, good times in our life. A kind gesture, a kind words of someone. Satsanga that does constantly help to cultivate the emotion which help us in our journey. Very similarly, the unpleasant emotions are also the company of the bad. Dusangat, evil company. I would like you to take a moment to contemplate on the process which you just observed of the emotion and its cycle. Someone always triggered this emotion, whether in present or even in the memory. Not to identify, judge, or again analyze any of these people as bad or evil, the company in the contact of these people or situations where someone triggered this chain reaction. This Sangat, evil company, brings into our mind a steady march of sensual thoughts, which develops in the time into irresistible challenges. The intensity of this unpleasant emotion that rises in the mind is directly proportional to the strength of the karma, which is unfulfilled. An expectation or a thought which is unfulfilled. And when anger mounts up, you cannot think clearly anymore. The delusion starts. The mind starts to imagine things which are not even around. It blocks the memories. And when memories are lost, the discrimination, the rational intellect, the buddhi also lost. For this entire tragic fall, the initial cause is always the constant thinking. The chain of wrong thoughts, which initially or at start is triggered by dussangat, the company. The direct influence of the evil companionship is indeed the creation of this all. And the reason? Maharshi Narad constantly insists that by all means, at all times, the sadhaka should completely, fully give up dussangat. Let's take a moment to reflect upon this thought, understanding. There is nothing wrong within self. These unpleasant emotions are not because there is something wrong with you. They are more triggered and get strengthened when you see that more clearly. Idea is not to control or channelize, not to feel that, but to give up the cause, the root of it. The more company of the good, the satsanga, which replaces these emotions very effortlessly. Thinking about a moment when, regardless how disturbed or agitated the mind and your emotional well-being was, but the moment you saw someone very pleasant or heard someone It quickly brings your mind to the calmness, to stillness. That's strong the influence of the companies are. In order to continue on our path, we may interact with all kinds. Holding on to the understanding that how each and every interaction does affect the mind, the emotional cycle, and our stillness, our peace, our calm, and the happiness within. Let's reconnect with our breath again, clearing our mind to the point. Again, breathing in normally. When you exhale, fully exhale and hold your breath. Inhale normally. That moment of pause on the exhalation, you may observe the mind comes back to stillness. You may repeat this until mind is completely clear. With the clear vision, with the clear mind, with the right understanding, let's redirect all our awareness with our interactions with the world. What all brings good within. Let's continue our journey, understanding the self to understand the world around. And that's where we understand the divine play. Very slowly, take a deep breath in, fully inhale, and slowly start to exhale. Fully exhale, make sure your lungs are completely clear. Inhale will happen naturally. Let's bring your awareness to the distant sound or smell or any sensation on your skin, the chillness, warmth, being aware of your surrounding. Being fully present at this moment, being aware of the present moment, fully connected with your day ahead. And as you see yourself in your day ahead, make sure that world does not influence the mind and emotional cycle. You have the choice to pick and choose company. Taking your own time when you feel ready, very gently open your eyes.